Hey. Hello guys. Welcome to a new prediction for next week. Our last prediction was correct about the pullback, and it was a nice pullback. If we go for the weekly, you can see it coming back from the 565 to the low 530, let's say 7, and the buyers can buy and push it back up on the end of the week. If we go to the daily, you can see how it goes. Come back down, small pullback as we predicted because we saw the divergence on the small time frame and then continuation. Didn't touch our key area of support, and I think it has more to go. You can see how it went here. It came back down, and usually when it break off and continue down, it tend to touch the next area of support, the 533, 532. If we go for, and I'm checking my algos, yes, we can see they're coming back. We can see almost a double top. You can see the sellers coming back here and then again, starting off back again. And probably the end zone could be the 530, even the 529, 528.80 area, which the buyers could try to rebuild position for the next move for the upside. In order for the SPY to move back up, it needs to close above the 548.50. Some people say maybe close above the 550 again because this is a round number, and then it can continue to the 555, 554.80. And even continue for its run back to the area to check the 560. Our key area for the push above from the all-time high here is the 560. We need to close it, and it's a little bit too far away. And small time frame, if it breaks below the 542.60, continue down for the 539, and then probably will try to bounce there and maybe even break it and then continue for its downtrend. If we check for the 4-hour chart how it looks, we can see a downtrend. We can see the change. Last week we were here. The Q's already changed its direction, so this is the reason why I suggested to follow the Q's, because it's more volatile and could lead us to the right direction, and it was. So now we can see here the change in the SPY, and I think we probably gonna see it here, coming back here, and this could be a change from the let's say the 565 to the 530. This is about a 7% change, which is a nice pullback. And you can see here that there is already divergence building in, because any move further for the downside will bring more buyers to the party. And even though we are started a new trend for the downside, you can see it more clearly on the 1 hour chart. You can see this trend is up and now it changed. And this is the pullback we saw for the retest after the break of the change, and we saw it here nicely. And then I thought it will try to push to the 5, even 60, but it didn't. It stopped at the 557, let's say 556.80, and then immediately the sellers came off, didn't give it any chance. And now probably we're in a phase of a downtrend. So this is 1, maybe another 2 and 3. So to reach to the 30. So this is for the SPY. You have the key area for the move up and down. Even though there is 2 possibility, you know what? Before we jump for the Qs, let me check if there is any divergence. No, on the daily. Small one on the 4-hour chart for probably another retest for in the pullback for the upside for the 550 again. And on the 1 hour chart, if we make it bigger, we can see some move for the downside divergence for continuation. We go for the Qs because we want to follow the Qs. If we check it again, let's go from the weekly. See how it goes. Much deeper pullback, small tail from the downside, which means the bars was interesting, but not that. Maybe because it hit some key area of support. If we go for the daily, we can see the break, and this is not a good break because next target for the Qs, I think we already told it, this is the 554, and below it is the 525, 526. So probably try to reach for the 200, retest it again. There is a divergence on the daily, you can see it here. This is low, this is higher low, this is already divergent, but we need a clean break above the 20 to confirm a move for the upside. So probably above the 468 to try to attack the 480 again. So far, do we see any move for the upside will bring more sellers to the party? So this is on the opposite direction. It could try to push for the 473 and retest from there, even try to reach for the 478 here and then push for the downside. So be very careful with it. If we go for the 4-hour chart, smaller time frame, we can see the bigger change. We can see the trend facing down. We basically, in order to be in a clear downtrend, which the public won't like, we need to cross and close below the 444 here, this area 443 here. So far, it's not. Well, I don't think it will hit it yet. I think it will find the bars. We can see the trend making a change to change, so it can preserve this price action, moving slowly even for the downside, creating divergence. You can see it here. This is, let's say, from here to there, it's moving up, so this is moving down. So if it can cross and close above the 467, can try to push up, but any push for the upside will bring more sellers. If we check it on the 1-hour chart, you can see it much clearly that any move for the upside will bring more sellers. So I think it will try to preserve its power in order to bring more buyers to fight the sellers in from the upside who is waiting. There is no clear divergence, so could be tricky. Wait for the opening on for next week. If we go for the IWMs, we probably could see the rotation because the IWM is positive and wanting to break and close above the 225. You can see it here. This is a nice flag it's doing here. If you manage to catch the 215, good luck for you. Can it hit any lower? We don't see any strong sellers. We can see the tail, but let's go for the weekly. You can see it more clearly. See how it looks. There is a big tail from this 225. So any break above it, it will push it for the even close above the 240 and 260. And yes, can even continue higher and let's say take it place for this 2 month for the best let's say percentage given. So the SPY probably go a little bit sideways and down, Qs down, but IWM, so the rotation will go for the smaller stocks. At the moment you can see a big volume on the weekly with rejection, so a lot of sellers there, and then buyers coming back and try to fight it. So there is no divergence, so it means probably continuation, and I think it will be able to fight it. Can it be another attempt? If so, be very careful for another attempt if it will move down, because it will symbolize another weakness in the market. And then if the Qs move down, SPYs move down, and IWM move downs, this is not a good sign, and we have several signal of not doing that good for the market. So it could be very short rotation in the market. If we go for Tesla, with Tesla again, you can see how the weekly looks. Rejected, rejected, tail, tails, tail, strong sellers, divergence for the downside. This is not a strong divergence because it was able to spike it and pick it up and then immediately move down. So it wasn't that clear. If we go for the daily, you can see how the daily there is no divergence in those areas. So it maybe just mean a closing. It could touch it and maybe spike it and then push for the upside. But at the moment, it doesn't look that good. It's between moving for the upside, moving for the downside, where to go. Each side can goes equally. At the moment, it seems it's resting on the 200 on the 4-hour chart, so it's Tesla is moving on the smaller time frame. So be prepared. If it breaks and close below, it won't be a good sign because it can continue for the 190, even 187. So for those area, if we check for the smaller time frame, we see again here this is a trend up. This is a break of trend. So usually it could push up again to retest the break if it managed to close above, and Tesla can do so. It can convince the buyer to rejoin and push for the upside. At the moment, there is no clear divergence, so it means continuation. So we just need to see how the momentum, if it's very strong. At the moment, it's negative, negative, negative. Try to bring the buyers, so it could mean another retest for the 240 to 37, then push for continuation for the downside. At the moment, there is no clear divergence, so it means just continuation. So be prepared. Check it on Apple. Apple, same goes, push for the upside, retest. This is a good area of buyers to rejoin again here. Do we have a clear divergence? We have some sort of divergences here. It didn't break it, so if it break a little bit above the 40, and we can see a green candle, so it can mean another push. But as we saw at the Qs, we saw the Qs big change on the Qs for the trend. So I think it will push Apple even if it try to hold everybody when there is, let's say, some sort of danger in the market of a bigger pullback. They're going usually for what is common. It's Apple. This is the big stock. This is like the new industrial stock. So this is it. Do we saw here? This is a divergence for continuation for the downside. So be prepared for continuation for the third week. If we go for Nvidia, like what it did. Nvidia, same goes. You can see a much deeper pullback. Managed to touch the support. Immediately got bought from this area. A lots of buy order. You can see the big tail, which is nice, but still not off the hook. Momentum is negative. There is no divergence, so it means again continuation. Any move for the upside can bring more sellers to the party. So I think the buyers know this. So they probably try to stall it for the sideways a little bit, even move it a little bit down, create divergence for reversal, and then try to push up again. Go for mRNA, Meta. Sorry, let's check Meta, because Meta was also bad one. A lot of gaps, guys, but still there is a gap at the, let's say 404, let's say 400. Is it off the hook? It managed to break, so it means continuation daily. Okay, let's give it a go for the 4-hour chart. It's a little bit So let's check it on the weekly. See on the weekly how it's go. This is the tail of the support, immediately got bought. So on the weekly, still a little bit strong for the support. I don't get it on the 4-hour chart, sorry guys. I don't know if it's stalling. Pause it. Sorry guys, it's bugged. So on the 4-hour chart, you can see Nvidia, same goes there. Need to go, sorry, Meta. Was Meta, let's hope. No, yes, all right. So same goes here, you can see the tails coming back in. It was board market wide. There is no divergence, so probably it will try to move a little bit more down with some sort of force from the buyers to create divergence for the upside. Check it up here, 443, 40, and this one 44. So there is divergence for moving for the pullback. Yes, and there is a good sign. You see momentum here, much stronger than this momentum. So it tried to push for the upside. Let's check it up on the 1-hour chart to see how it looks. 390, probably much higher. So not that much divergence, and you see any move for the upside already create divergence for the downside. So I think sellers know that, buyers know this, so in order to clear it, we'll try to, the buyers need to create some sort of positioning able to break and bring a lot of buyer break above this high to break the formation of a downtrend, and I think they will fail. If we check mRNA, sorry, mRNA sideways move on the 1-hour chart. You can see it on the weekly. Here it's resting on this trend. I give it here, resting on the 200. So a little bit rest. Let's see how it reacts to it on the 4-hour chart. Same goes, negative, 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 negative. Any move needs to break, and I will wait to break above the 130 in order to push for the upside. If not, below that, be very careful for continuation from the downside. If we check it on the wall chart, we true, you already saw it. So it tried to change the move, but I will wait. You can see the tail, so sort of resistance from the 127, 130 here. So you want to make sure, wait for the 130, see how it reacts, if it immediately breaks up and flash down, or it holds, and then give you a sign to join it and move for the upside. BA. All right, BA is the daily. Again, sideways. Be very careful with it. This is a nice accumulation phase, I think. You can see buys holding, making high lows, but the sellers, and they don't take the high here. So be very careful. It could try to spike it, immediately flash down, then continue. So either ways can go. So wait for a better confirmation. It seems positive here, but you can see positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So wait for this is a big sideways. You don't want to participate it. You want to see if the sellers rejoin on the 190 and push it back down for the support again. Rebuilding position. Yes, there is divergence for a break for the upside, but you don't see it yet. So I could and I might wait for it if I want to enter for a long side. Gold. Gold and silver, I think, did not that good as we saw it. Changing trend, basically the goes with the market and it's not that good, a little bit laggy. Changing the trend to retest and coming back down. If it move a little bit more up, it may fail. So if it preserves open with a gap down, it means the buyers don't want to attack yet. There is a potential to hit to the 222 and even 223. But this is but just for short term. Wait for it, guys. See it how it looks here. You can see this is kind of CF like a distribution. Spike up, immediately flash down. So if it breaks below here, not that good for the gold. Even though the gold has the potential to reach even higher. So in order for it, it needs to squeeze a little bit, and you can see how it's try to squeeze it, and then able to give a push. There is a divergence for the upside on the daily, so gold, look at it in a bigger time frame, guys. You can see it here. This is the divergence. There is a divergence, and I think manage if you want to be safe above here. Want to take more a little bit risk, above 221, 225 to the upside bar. This is your consideration to take, not mine. I am more careful with gold or silver. If we check the silvers, again, much deeper pullback. No divergence like with the gold, so be very careful with it. We check it on the weekly. You can see how it's resting here, which is a good sign, and creating divergence. So that's all. Gold and silver, watch it on a bigger time frame. If it closed below the 25, it will go for the 24, and even lower for the 23, and which will be a better entry point. At the moment, negative. Be very careful going along with it. There is no divergence, so it's continuation. Even though there is, you can see a pullback sign. There is divergence on the smaller time frame. If we check it on the 1 hour chart, we could see it probably someplace here on a smaller time frame. So be very prepared for it and be very careful. But any move for the upside in the smaller time frame will bring both sellers. So we need to see how the sellers, if they are strong. I think Oxy, yeah, this is the last one. Usually following. Again, sideways. I do think the oil and Oxy will push for the downside even for the 53, 54. It could take time. You could see it. Let's check the area I'm waiting for it to hit. I think it will, but it will take time. There is a lot of buyer every time coming from the 60. If we the weekly, so go for the daily, it's much clearer. You can see the 60 here. This is a nice big area, nice number, but it managed to break. But guys, 59.50 if it closed below, not that good. And no divergence both sides, so be very prepared. It seems negative at the moment. Seem it cross it, so it's big negative. This is the start of the cross, 50 from the 200. See what usually happens, falling down. So be prepared for it. How much the fall will be, I don't know yet, but I can see it coming. Usually when there is a cross, there is a small pullback of pressure to take out all the people who don't want to be in a position, give them the last chance to move out from the market, and then the sellers will join in with a big pressure. So be prepared. Momentum is negative, negative, negative. Even trying to do the small pullback. Smaller time frame. Any push for the upside with great divergence. So I think the sellers know that, the buyers know that. Maybe another indecision 2 days, 1 day. So guys, let's try to sum it up. I want to be very short. This is a 25 minutes video, so let's do it on the daily. Did the pullback finish with the Qs? Not with the SPY. It seems so. I think it will continue and try to move with SPY a little bit lower. Maybe the Qs while the SPY is doing so will try to preserve the price or even try to move much much less. Gold still follow the gold or the silver with the oil combined with the S&P. If you see IWM making push for the upside, you can follow it and check it out if this is a full rotation, or just try pull the people to enter the IWM and then take them all out. So far I'm a little bit bearish for this week, but optimistic for the rest of the year. So thank you guys, hope it helps. Of course, do your own due diligence. It doesn't mean it's any recommendation of buy or sell, just my point of view, how I see the market at the moment, at this time. I'm watching it. So I hope it helps and give you some sort of idea to check. So thank you guys and see you guys later.